So yesterday we have completed generic related project settings and all. And today, tomorrow, we are going to understand few more components and we didn't touch the code. So today we'll cover the code part and we will continue on the components. So coming to code, right? So we all know we have started with Talend. So what is what is the base of Talend and what kind of things can be done through Talend and why people are trying to move to Talend, we understand. So that's where you can see that there is a code feature, and you can understand there is a routine or is there something is there. So routine means nothing but a kind of a reusable functionality you can implement in the routine. So the code, which is like a customized whatever you want to repeatedly you are going to use in your process. So that thing you can made it as a code that is called a routine. So routine means we'll say right how is life, then we'll say yeah routine is going like that, we'll say right same thing. That routine, that the intention of the routine is it's just a reusable code which can be customized as we don't have any methods which are not available in your like a inbuilt talent methods or in a components which you cannot achieve through that configuration, so that you can prepare a custom code kind of thing. So here, right, in general, this is required a basic Java knowledge. So what kind of things will be done through Java, how to declare a variable, how to create a method, and how to call that routine. So these are the basic, like out of 100%, when you are a talent developer, at least you have to know 10% of custom code. At least you may need to understand if someone written the Java code and all. So that kind of knowledge you need to keep in your mind, because people maybe you are not going to write that kind of scratch code or something. Maybe some of you maybe have good knowledge in Java, so that the other team member can write. Just you have to understand how to call that and what is written in that code. This the things you have to keep in mind. Just I'm creating a simple routine, and I'll go through that how it is going to work and where we are going to call, how to uh, extract whatever things you have done in a routine. So I'm creating a sample. So my routine name is sample. So you can create a sample, whatever you are doing, what functionality you want to implement here, you can call create as a sample. So sample is a routine name. So by default, it will create a this template. So this is a template of Java code which will Talend will create automatically. You can see here, right? So package is routines. So package is routines. Routines is a package name. Package is nothing but a folder. So under package is a it in your general terms. So Java is a it will have multiple packages. Under multiple packages, you will have a classes, and under classes you will have a methods. This is how it is going to be in any Java. So Java, all things will be in a packages. So package is called a set of classes will be stored in the package, and classes is going to have set of properties or methods, functionalities are going to be there in the classes. So these three keywords you have to remember. So package, when they are going to release any new version of Java, they'll release a new package or existing package, they'll add some more libraries or classes to that package. And methods, so obviously you need to have a functionality when you are writing something you are writing something code, then that is called a functionality. So how you are going to implement that and how to place that method, these things information you can have in a methods. So these three keywords will be placed in this routine. So when you create a routine, you can see that package is under routine. So routine is a package name. So package name is a, you can make it simple, it is a folder. Okay, folder it will create. Under folder you can create a class you can create a class. The class name is sample we created. Okay, under default there is a method. I'm removing these comments. You can remove these comments. We don't need this. So under package you have a sample class. So sample class you'll have a one method. So simple, they have a method public static void. This is called a method name. Hello example is a method default they're giving in this class. Okay. So and within the braces, it is called as a parameter. So you can pass the parameter string and what it is doing. So it will check the message is null. I mean, it's not they have anything or something. It will check if the thing is there. They are trying to assign a world to the string. So string called message. It will going to assign the value to string. Message is the string. For that they are assigning value to the world, and finally they are printing the message. So whatever message they have passed to this variable, if nothing is passed by default, the value assigned to the world, and they are trying to print that hello world. So this is a sample routine by default. Talend will create. So what are the things you are going to see? That is a package says package is nothing but a routine. So always here only one package is called routine. So that is what here you can see in your first line. And second one is a class name. So what is your class name? Sample. And under sample, what is the example? Hello example. So like this, three things you are going to see here. And what is the class? So this is a class. So what is the syntax we are calling? Public class sample. So sample is a name of a class. So class is called class is a type of data. So always before when variable you are defining something, it is nothing but a type of data. So when you are declaring, right, in a general, if you want to store a integer value, what you are going to declare? Int x equal to 10. Okay, so then if I ask what is this, you'll say x is a variable and it is a type of integer data going to store in that x. So x is a variable, and what type of data it is going to store? Integer. So int x equal to 10 means x is going to store, the type of data is integer. So here what is assigned? 10 is assigned. Same way here you can see class is a sample, and what it is going to have? Class. And class type is a class is going to have properties and assets. Like what is the property and what is assets, you are going to hear here. So example you can see here, hello example is a property of a class. So class is going to store the properties. So it's going to be variables or methods, whatever you are going to have n number of things you can store in this class. So class is a type. It is going to store the properties and related functionalities. So behaviors. So properties and behaviors. So class sample. So this is a data type. Example, class is a type and sample is a class type variable. Example, not a variable. You can feel that I'm to make it simple to understanding. I'm saying this is a simple sample variable which is going to store a class type data. What we are going to have in a class? We are going to have properties, behavior of properties. Behavior of properties. Behavior you can treat it as a methods, and properties means variables. So here what is a variable? Message is a variable. And what is the behavior we are trying to implement? We are trying to print the message is a behavior. So hello example is a behavior, and properties of this is message. So we are trying to print the message. We are preparing a one behavior. Behavior is a how what it is going to do and how it is going to do. So that is what called behavior. So here, so class is a type of sample, and we are having a one property and related behavior. So this is a behavior hello example. So just the example, we are trying to print a message, and here you can see public. So we'll have a access specifiers So public, private, default. So these kind of access specifiers will be there. So for now, you are not a Java indeed. So you can remember always we'll have a public. So public means you can call the class. You can use public means which is a which is can be accessed by anything, right? Which can access by anyone. If there is some public property is there, everybody will go and use it. Same way, if the public is keyword is available before the class, you can treat that as a public. You can call anywhere without creating anything. So same way, method also, it is a behavior. So the behavior of public is going to have, you can able to access anywhere. So class is a type of variable which can be stored in the properties and behaviors. So behavior is called a methods, you can treat it. So behaviors are going to be anything. So for example, if I provide a two integer numbers, so integer numbers are properties, and I want four behaviors. Example, one behavior I want to addition, I want a subtraction, second behavior, and third behavior is a multiplication, fourth behavior is a division. So like that, you can create a number of behaviors for that properties. So properties are going to be, you can declare the properties and you can define using that properties, you can define the behaviors. Even you can general also, right? Class, you can remember, we'll have a, you will have a number of students and each student have their own behavior. So you can, he can behave different. So it is a variant, right? So student to student, we cannot see similar kind of activities when they are sitting in a class. Same way, the variable is going to have a different values, and you can based on what they have, they are going to use. Teacher is what is the duty of teacher? She need to or he need to teach the lessons. That is a behavior of teacher. And students, they have to listen the class. So that is a common behavior. But everybody will not listen the class. Here also in 10 people, how many people are concentrating listen to me? I don't know. The behavior is there. They can just they can join the call and they can do the some other activities. They thought they due to some personal work. The behavior I cannot define right now, right? So how they are doing, how they're carefully listening the class or not, I don't know. But properties are, these 10 people are joined in my class, all are properties, and each individual they'll have own behavior. So same way, you can compare here, you can declare the variables, n number of variables, and you can utilize the n number of variables, or depends on which variable is suitable for your method or functionality. You can define and you can use that variable. So the behaviors are nothing but a called. In general, I am explaining. If you are not programming, you don't have any programming knowledge also, just you can keep this general keywords. So class and method. So class is a type. So class is a type of, you are declaring one type, and you will have a properties and related behaviors. Properties, you can treat it as a variables, and behavior is that using that variables you are going to prepare one method or a behavior of that variables. So here message is a property. I am preparing one behavior for that. Whenever if somebody pass the message value to something, and I want to print that hello, whatever message they are going to pass that. So this is how it is going to be looks like. So you can see the routines. Under routines, you can see this class, and class you can have a number of methods, not only one method. Right now we are seeing one method. This is a template. Automatically when you create a class, the template will be generated by tool. So you have to modify, or you can create a one more class under the one more class, new class, and you can write whatever methods, whatever behaviors you want to create, you can create it. So class is a class type of variable, and this variable is going to have different yeah, variables and related behaviors. So this is a simple routine we have created, and how to call this routine, how to run this routine. So now we have to create a job. So this is a, again, we are just created a one common code or something. Just I want to use this code, where to use and how to use. You are going to create a new call method is my new job. So you want to call this method and you want to see how to pass the variable and how to print that. So you can use any. So we have a custom components. We regularly use a Java component where you can find where you can create where you can write some logs or you can call anything. So this is an individual independent component. It don't expect anything. Java, when you are going to use this component, right, you see, right, there is no edit schema. So basic setting, just a code. You can write your own code or you can call existing routine. So this is an independent component. It should not expect any input or it will not give any schema to the next component, because here you don't see any edit schema, right? In general, any component you will see the edit schema means it can pass the data and you will see the main connection for that component. But Java, you will not see any schema. You cannot pass any schema to the next component. So just you can have that connection, but you cannot pass any schema from here. But whatever is going to generate here, you can store into the some variable and you can pass it to the next component. That's how you are going to be. So you want to pass from something from, you can want to read from input and you want to pass to the next component. There is another component called Java row. Okay, these are all components which is going to write or call a Java routines or a Java code, whatever you are going to implement, or whatever process in between you are trying to do some massage to the data using Java code. Then you can use these components. Okay, so another component is Java Flex. We'll try to cover these three components when you are using a routine. Okay, so these three components, when you are seeing any job, if you open existing codes or something, they have mostly used a Java row or Java. Rarely you can see that Java Flex. All three are used for a Java code calling, and you can write your own methods or how we have created sample, right? So you can create like a routine and you can start calling. But or you can directly write whatever functionality you are trying to implement. So here, right, you can call that method whatever we have written. So how to call that? Always you have to same hierarchy. You can see, right, package dot routine class name dot. Here they don't call it as a class. It is generally a class, but you have to call it as a routine. So package dot routine dot method name. So this is how you have to call when you are when you have any routine in your system. So you can just call that routines dot. So control space, you can find that whatever you method you have class you have created, you can type first letter and you can see here, right, sample. So sample is your routine name. So routine dot and methods, what methods you have created. You can see that hello example is the only method you have in this class. So class and related methods you can see in this. So just you can call this. If you are not going to here, right, the what is the parameter? Message is a variable. So message is a variable. You can vary the value from when you are calling the code. So you can pass that value when you are calling that method. So how to call that method? Routines dot method name, package dot routine dot method name. So what is a routine? Routine is a package. So this is what a package. So by default it will generate a package routines. So routines, they are given the folder. So this is nothing but a folder. You can see that icon, right? There is a folder. You can have that kind of table format. This is a folder which can store your classes and all under that folder. And class is a, again, it's a type of variable or a behavior. You can, and it is defined with the class type. So class type variable sample, and it will have a method. So this is the same hierarchy. When you are calling routine, you have to remember routines dot class dot method name. Okay, and message, it is a augment. So augment, you can pass anything. If you are not passing, what it is doing, it is checking the value is passed by the user or not. If not, then default it is assigning hello like a word, and it is trying to print as appending to that word keyword with hello. So it will print as a hello world. If you are not passing anything, just you can leave it as it is. It will try to get that value as a word and it will try to append the data. But I want to pass the augment. So I want to pass some text. So this is the string type. You can see the what type of data you have to pass for this code. So this is a string type. So before any variable you see the type. So same way here you can see the type, right? This is a class type, this is a string type. So like that you have to, before what is the type of data you have to store, that is what you have to pass as an argument. So you are passing as a string type. I am passing Krishna as a string to this method. Okay, so now if I go and run this job, what it is going to do, it will check that Krishna and it will try to pass here message equal to null. No, we have passed the value as a Krishna. So Krishna is there. So if it will not be required, so what it will do, it will check the hello plus what is the value we passed Krishna. So it will print hello Krishna exclamatory, whatever we have appended. See here concatenation doing by the plus. So if we run this, hello Krishna is going to be the value printed by that method. So all the structure it is going to be like that, and you have to see what method and what is the functionality they have implemented and method based on your need, based on what they're going to ask you to call that method, you can use it. Because you will have a custom routines in some cases, even some if you are doing some kind of connecting to the services API calls and all. So there is no components which can be done through Java code. So you can use the routines to call that API and all. So now you see, right, hello Krishna is a printed. So method behavior is we are trying to pass a augment to this, and augment is concatenating the value and printing on the console. System.out.println is used for console, and public is access specifier. So you can able to access. We didn't like, if you have a private something you have to call something, but we are public. So public you are using, so you can simply call routine dot method name. So routine dot method name, which will automatically create. Here in general Java, you have to construct a object and all, but here Talend, you don't need to construct any object. It's a static memory, so which will be store the variables and related all methods and everything will be in static. So you can directly call it as routine. So routine means here class, right? Class dot method name. So class dot method name, which will give you the output of the what is the behavior you have implemented in that method. So here it's just a print statement we are creating, and I am going to call in same in T-Java Flex. So same behavior you are going to see in a T-Java Flex. So T-Java Flex is also is a Java component which you can have see the format of things like you can see, right, there is a start code, main code, end code. So this is a like a flexing code. So flex code, like you can have all the variables declaration in your start code, and you can have main functionality, whatever you are doing you can do it in the main code. And end code, you'll have any loop closing the loops, or you want to print end statements, you can use the T-Java. So right now I have only one method which I am going to call using the T-Java Flex. So how to call that routine? You can use the routines dot, without routines keyword also you can call, but in general how you are going to use, I'm just trying to pass that with, because routine is a common package. So you don't need to worry about the package. You will not have any other packages except you create some package, then you will have. Otherwise routine is a default package, so you no need to call that. Default it will check that in a routines. So if I remove this also, nothing to going happen. You can just call it as class dot method name. So just you can call it as class dot method. If you have multiple packages, if you have created any new packages, then you have to specify, right? So if you are looking for a file, so for example you are looking for a some file I told, so you have to check that which folder. So I have to tell you, right, it is in inbound or it is a outbound file. So you have to go to the respective folder. Same way you are specifying the package that indicates that you go to the routines folder and you can find a sample class. If you created a my.arg, so my.arg is a folder. Under my.arg you can find that sample related class and all. So that before that class you have to define under which folder we have to fetch that that will easily fetch by the code, and it can get that class related whatever method you are calling, it will able to fetch it. But right now routines is a default. If you are not having the routines dot also, it is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to run again. So it is going to print in T-Java also we have enabled, and we have T-Java flex also. So just to, this is a main code, right? So I don't have any start code or any end code. Just I'm trying to call that routine in main code. So this is our main functionality. So I'm just calling that class dot method name. So I missed the double quotes. So now you see, right? Hello Krishna and hello Sai. So both are called. So same way you can call in a T-Java also. T-Java row. But what is the difference between these two? These two has, it is just a plain component which you can create a variables and you can write your methods, everything. T-Java Flex has a structured of, you can have that kind of start code. So you can have that kind of structure. So you can mention all the variables declaration, and you can write a main functions in a main code, and end code just you want to print something, we are reached to the end of the loop, or we are at the end of the process, you can just print that message. So it can able to read from input, and it can able to pass to the next component T-Java Flex. But T-Java cannot read the data from input component, and it is not going to expect any input. So just it an individual component. Okay, just end code, and same way you can write a start code also. You can write a start code. So T-Java, right? If you see here, it is a warning, and it is saying the component should have a input link. So it is expecting some input. Otherwise, it is going to it's going to be always a warning. So I'm just trying to call that. How to call that routine? Sample dot. Just you can type the first two letters, and you can give the control space. It will give the list of routines available in your routines package, and what is the method. So after dot, automatically it will give the what methods available in. So I'm just trying to write. Now I'm going to run this. We'll see what we are going to hear. So if you see, right, so what happened? Started the process, and you see hello Sai and reached the end of the process. But T-Java row, it is not worked, and it is not printed hello Sai Krishna, because it is expecting input. So I'm just going to add, if it's go input, I'm just trying to connect to the main, and I'm going to add that message here. So I'm just adding same that schema, whatever we have passed to method, right? I'm just adding message. So it is expecting some input. So here I'm going to pass the value for whatever value I have passed in that directly in method. Okay, so how to call this one in a T-Java row? You just have to call the, you can just click on edit schema, sync the schemas, then you will get that. I'm just going to get, and you can generate a code. So generate a code will give you the, what is the column name? Message. Okay, so now you can call that routine and you can pass directly the input, whatever you are getting from tfixco input. You can pass this. You can just see and you can pass this. Right now this variable we are not passing to any other component, so you can comment it. Just we are reading from the input component and passing to our routine. So now we are going to run this, and you can see that it is going to print that value of tjava row also. Now you see, right? So it is executed Sai Krishna. So Sai Krishna is printed, and Hello Krishna is there in tjava, and tjava flex is started the process Hello Sai, and reached the end of the process. Like this, you are going to use the tjava components. So tjava is an independent component. You can call your routine, and you want to write some methods or functions of behaviors. You can write here. I'm just trying to add. So int, I want to prepare a addition. So int a equal to 10, a equal to 20, int b equal to 30, and I want to add these two. Int c equal to a plus b. Okay, this is I want to print that what is the outcome of what is the output of the above addition. C system dot out dot. Just I'm directly writing the code to addition two numbers and print on the console. This is the behavior I have prepared in a tjava component directly. So now you see, right, addition 50 is printed. Hello Krishna. So first is executed this one. This is all independent. I'm going to comment this, deactivate and deactivate this. Okay, so now tjava only I'm using. Tjava is a independent component. You can write your whatever method or behavior you want to write. You can directly write onto the tjava and you can call that, or you can create a routine and you can call that routine using the routines dot class name dot method name, and you can pass the augments if there is any augments expected by that method. So in this case we are just passing a string, and we have tried to, we want a requirement to add some, or you want to multiply, just you can have declare the variables, or you can have one variable and you can multiply directly. You don't need to third variable, right? So you just want a two numbers to be multiplied or two numbers to be addition. You can just do that using the just you are printing whatever the variables you are printing. So you can have that statement. You can easily, you can write in the tjava itself. You can print that same thing. You can implement in T-Java Flex also. T-Java Flex, what is the T-Java Flex is going to do? It is going to have a structured like a start code, main code, and end code. You can have declared variables, or you just want to have some count. So for example, you want to count how many rows are coming. Example. So you can just create a count variable, okay, and increment the process. So count plus plus. So you just have you want to capture how many records and how many are going to be processed, and you can have this one. So you can print that count plus also. So each and every row, how many records are coming. Finally, you will have that many sequence is going to generate. So main code is here. What is the intention of why we are incrementing? The main code is going to iterate the process. So each and every row from input component, which will be row by row, it will pass through main code. So you cannot increment this value in here. Okay, main code is the one which is going to read the each and every row from input component, and it will able to get that count of the incremental value. So that's where main code they are mentioning. So main code is a looping or iterate. In general, we'll have a row by row processing, right? So you want to get that kind of row by row value, you have to write in main code. Okay. So these three components are mainly used for the purpose is to call existing routines, or you want to create any custom code which can be used for your calculation purpose, or you want to survive some kind of anything, so which can be a requirement. So you want to connect to the some service call, you can use a Java code, which can you can use that using the T-Java component, or T-Java Flex, or T-Java row. So all these three components purpose is to so I am not initialized, so it is not able to increment. So you can see, right, that increment 0 to initialize the 1, and it is incremented. So this is like mainly, right, if you want to get the incremental, or you want to loop anything looping purpose, you are going to use the main code. So that's where they're given the main code. So all looping are row by row iteration. So in Talend, it is going to be row by row. So that row by row iteration will happen in main code. So you have to write whatever you want to call, or you want whatever functionality you are implementing. Always you have to use in a main functionality. Main code you are seeing, right there, you can call your row and all. And end code is just to you have to close anything like a looping elements, or you want to write some kind of end statements. Now how we are doing, right? So this kind of things you can do. So if you are calling any Java code, so you are writing, right, same you want to you want to prepare that addition. So just you can declare all variables here. Okay, declaration can be done in a start code. So int, so whatever we implemented in T Java, right? Same thing we are trying to implement. Int a equal to 2, int b equal to 3, and I want to get logic which can be done c into c equal to, or you can directly call system dot. So declaration we are doing at start code. Okay, and main code, what is the logic we are trying to add or we are trying to print, whatever you can do in the main code. So this components usage, right? It's very don't scare if you are not able to follow. Also, if Java components, it's going to be chances are 10%. You are not going to use regularly these kind of components or T Java Flex and all. So you are going to see Max to print the statements and all. So we are also using regularly, right? When we started training, we started printing start date of the process and the end date of the process. That is kind of things we are logging. So mainly for logging information to get the count of after completing the process, to get the count of rows, those things we are going to use the T Java. And T Java row, it's also going to be on the fly. If you want to do some kind of data massage only, you are going to see T Java Flex. You are going to see very chances are very less, but you are completely going to see T Java or T Java row in your process. Okay, in real time, you are not going to see much on T Java Flex. It is a huge code they have written, and they are very familiar with Java code. Then only they are going to use the T Java Flex and all. Otherwise, you can see only T Java, and you can see that this one. So now you can see, right, addition we have that we have multiplied. So in the T Java Flex, I have implemented functionality to multiply. So a equal to 2 and b equal to 3, and I just tried that multiplication, a into 2. So like this, you can have your own functionality in your main code. This is the purpose of this one. And you want to use you want to pass that message value from input component, you can use that same component. So T Java Flex is going to allow you read the input data also. So you can have T Java Flex here. So I'm going to copy this, and you can pass that message instead of passing from directly in code like a method. You can pass from input component. So T Java Flex, what is the advantage? It can able to read the input, and it can able to pass the output to the next component. But T Java, it's a independent, so it cannot read any input from input component. So now what is I'm going to call here row 2 dot message. Instead of Sai, I'm going to call row 2 dot message. So row 2 is our you have to sync first. You can find that what is the column name. So this is the column. So you can see here, right, there is a edit schema. So edit schema, and you will have a sync column. So you can call that input schema to the T Java Flex. So now I'm printing. So now I'm going to add one more row here. So I'm going to change inline table. So here I am going to pass. I'm passing 3 input data. So T Java Flex is going to iterate and print all 3 values every run. I'm deactivating this, and I'm going to run this. So now you can see, right, it is trying to loop, and it is printed first multiplication done. So hello Sai is the first row. So first row is in T fixed point input is Sai. So it is printed hello Sai, and next is hello Ram. So hello Ram, it is again repeated for same multiplication done, and again printed hello Ram. and again multiplication done, printed the hello Krishna. That is what output. You can see that three times it is happened, and you can see 6 hello, and again 6, and it printed Ram, and again 6, it's printed 3 times, because it is iterated, because 3 input rows are coming and reading by the T-Java flex. So that's why it is trying to do that 3 times. Same multiplication happened 3 times. So same functionality, right? So if you pass that a value, b value from here, and you can pass to that multiplication, then it will take care the value of input and it will multiply. And here there is no input. You cannot append, you cannot connect to that input, fixed pro input to this component. Okay, so what is the intention of here, right? How to call the Java, and without creating a routine, how to create a code or functionality in custom components. That is what we are trying to understand. Now you can see, right, here you can connect, but you cannot pass the values here. So, and it is a, you can pass, but it is not expecting. So you want to pass data from input to the next component, then you can use a T-Java row. You want independent code you want to run and all, you no need to use the any input, because without input it can able to pass, because it doesn't have a edit schema. So how you will get that, what schema is here, how you will get that in T-Java? So you will not get it. You want to read the date schema from the before component, you need to see that edit schema. So here you can see that edit schema, here you can see that edit schema. So you can able to get that input component related schema, but in this component you cannot see the edit schema option. So how do you know what schema is there? When you have to do customize, and you have to find what is the schema is there in this component and how to read that. So why we have to take that risk? This they are given a other component which can able to read the input, and you can able to process that data. So here, right, you can see that you can able to read from input component, and you can able to do whatever massage you want to do for this, right? So for this input, I want to do like a uppercase of data. So how we can do that? So system dot out dot println, or just I want to use the log row. Okay, I want to pass into the next component log row. Whatever we are doing in T-Java, I want to get that. These 3 components, generally they'll ask comparison. So you can explain when we are going to use this component, what is the advantage of these components and all. So you are seeing, right? So what is the things, what are the difference you are identifying till now? So what is the T-Java? Anyone? What is T-Java? Why we need T-Java? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, Krishna, you're audible.
What is T-Java?
So T-Java is a component where we can write custom Java code. It depends upon the requirement. So basically, it can be used to write the custom Java code based on the requirement. And it cannot take the input, like we cannot use any variables that was declared. So we cannot, I mean, we cannot pass output also.
Yeah, it cannot able to read the schema, because you don't have a edit schema option. Coming to T-Java row, you have an option without input. You cannot run the T-Java row component. So these are all differences. And here also you can write whatever you have written in T-Java, right? So you can able to write, but it is going to expect input. Without input, it is not able to run your code. So T-Java row, it is a mandatory input component. Otherwise, it cannot process your code. So here also you can do that addition. once you connect it to, you just have to do some input to that component, and you can play whatever you want to call the method, or whatever you want to write a logic, you can write in the T-Java row also. But expectation is it needs some input. Now you can see, right, whatever it is printed, it is able to print, you can able to achieve same in T-Java row also. And what is a T-Java flex? T-Java flex without input or with input, you can able to run the custom code. You can write, you can call routines, and you can write your own codes. But here the structure of T-Java flex is it's kind of a flexing script. So they'll have a start code and a main code, end code. So all the declarations, all the variable declarations, all the starting kind of points you can write in the start code, and main code, what exactly the main logic you are going to write in a main code, and the end code is just to close the loops or close the statements. Everything you can write in the end code. So these are all different. So combination of T-Java row is going to be T-Java flex. One more you can say simple statement. So T-Java functionality, T-Java row functionality combination you can find in the T-Java flex. So T-Java is a without input. It cannot read any schema, and it can able to call the routines, whatever we have written, or you can write your logics directly in T-Java. So same day, T-Java row is, it should expect a input, and you can write your custom code or logics in T-Java row. Okay, these two combinations will be having in a T-Java flex. T-Java flex can have flexible, you know, that's where they are calling flex. Okay, so it is a very flexible with input or without input. You want to pass some input component data to next component, and you do some massage of data. Why we are using this? These are all coming under custom component. So you can find this in T-Java in all custom code. So you want to do some kind of data related, so using Java code, you want to do some kind of massage of data, or you want to apply some logics, then you are going to use these components. So you can see, right, Groovy, T-Java flex, these custom code. So when you are implementing custom code, you have to use these components. And a routine, so if why we are creating a routine, so if it is a reusable, so if just you are doing everywhere, for example in this case, right, I am doing addition here, I am doing addition here, I am doing addition here. So how many times I have declared the variables, how many times I have called that function, right, n number of times. Instead of that, I'll go and create here one more method which can do the addition for me. So I'm just going to create a method, public static method. Okay, so here I am going to call this method name as addition. So I want to perform addition in number of places, and I want two parameters. You want to add something, you need a two parameters, right? I'm passing two parameters. Okay, and I want to get that values from arguments. So when you are calling this method, you are going to pass the two values. After that, what I have to do, I just want to add that. So I'm going to declare int c equal to a plus. So I'm not declaring here what is the value of a and b. A and b values we are going to get from method. When they are going to use the method, they are going to pass that values. So now I'm going to call just C. So okay, so this is a routine. So now how many times I'm going to call this method? You can call n number of times. You no need to declare anything. You no need to declare A again, B again, and all. Just you can call that method directly. Here how to call that method? So you can remove this code, or you can comment this. We don't want this declaration and all. So you just have to can comment this code. What we are doing? We are trying to call the addition method. I want to perform addition on two numbers. So routines dot class name is same. So using same class name, I have written one more behavior. To addition is a behavior. And what is the method? Addition. You can see, right, addition. It is expecting two parameters. Always method is there. You can see in parentheses, is there any arguments it is expecting. So you can just pass that. I want to pass 150, and I want to pass b value as 3. So I just want to add them. So now if I run this code, what is going to happen? It will add that 150 plus 300 and it will print the addition. So this is why we are creating a routine. So same addition functionality we are using multiple places. So then what we have to use, instead of declaring variables in a different components, you can just create a routine. That routine can be called n number of times, n number of places. So that is the advantage of routine. So addition I am doing here itself in a job 3 times I am doing. In T-Java I am doing, T-Java flex I am doing, and T-Java row I am doing. Again same in declaring the variable, because it all local variables. So you cannot call once you declare in T-Java, you can call in T-Java flex. You cannot. Because of that, what we have to do, which is a reusable. The intention of routine is which is a reusable or which is a custom code you can create in a routine. Then you can easily call wherever job in the within the project or within the job n number of times you can able to call that. I'm here also. I'm deactivating all these. We don't need all these. Of doing multiple times, like you all remember, right? Medimix said remove all these things one. So same way, one routine you have written, so that routine will take care of declaring the variables, and you just do the whatever functionality. Say addition you are doing, so you tried a number of places, addition you are doing, so you are declaring and calling the method, everything you have already taken care in your uh, routine. So just you are going to call that. Simply you are going to call and you are going to pass that what is the addition you are expecting, what numbers you want to add. So just it is going to print the 1200. So that is a, so intention is routines are reusable components, and it is mainly for custom code, so that you can able to manage your, it will reduce your effort, right? So earlier I am doing int a b c every component. So what is the point of doing that many times? So it's not a good practice, right? So you can just have one place and you can reuse a number of times. And real time, one clear example I can just give you, like a email validation and phone number formation, right? So now you see, right, 1200, same logic, you can same copy that code, you can copy the same code, same method calling, you can copy this and you can paste in T-Java row also. T-Java row, you can deactivate all these things, remove all other things, use medimix. Like that you can use a routine. So just you can pass what numbers you want to add. These values are going to be from your input. Right now we are just understanding how to pass the arguments, so that we are using this one. You want to pass from input, you can declare here, so you can have, right? So you are going to have a file or database, so you can have declare that. Here you can say a, and you can see b. So generally we are going to pass the values from, this is a int, so you have to declare int type. So here also it is going to be int type. In a process, how we are going to do, and you can have numbers, like you can remove this, and I'm going to add 3 rows. Just this is 10 and this is 20, and then we have 20. Like this, you will have input data already. Just we are going to apply the logic or addition or whatever. So you are going to read from input and you are going to pass this variable to the your routine. So instead of hard coding, here I am hard coded. So I'm just to show how to pass arguments, I am hard coded. Instead of hard coding, what you can do, you can just generate a code. You'll get all the schemas, right? Now you can call that method. So you can pass this input a, and here you can pass input b. So these are all coming from your database table, or some data is going to, you are going to get from input. So you are just applying logic on input data. Addition logic you are implementing. You have a routine created to add the additions. I'm going to deactivate these components. So sync need to be done before you are using this. So message already schema is there, right? It is not removed that. So you have to click on generate code, then it will remove that old. So now you see, right? So 10 plus 20 is just a concatenation. So and you can see that 10 plus 20 is a 30, and 20 plus 30 is a 50, and 30 plus 40 50. So and we are printing log row what is the input also, and what calculation we are doing is printed on top. So log row is printing what is the input data. So you just pass the data to this component to next component here, right? There is a out row dot a, out row dot b. This is going to pass to the next component, and that is where it is printing what is the a value first row and the b value second row. Like that it is printing all the data, and you are doing some functionality in T-Java row addition, that value also printed. So like this you are going to pass the input data, and you do some whatever transformations or whatever logics you are going to do in the T-Java row, and you can pass to the next component. Same thing you can load into the database or file. Here also it is going to be a DB or file. So custom code you are going to do. And now I want a phone number formation. So we did like phone number and email validation. These things are going to be common. So different sources you have to format the phone number. So we have applied the logic, right? So you're just going to get the number. So you will have a n 10 numbers. Every 3 numbers we want to keep the hyphen. We have implemented this one using the T map. We did it, but this is going to be common for everywhere. Wherever you are going to see the phone number functionality in source systems or a tables, I have to implement this. So a number of times implementing that substring, I can create a routine which can be reusable, right? So that is what we are trying to print it. We are trying to implement in your routine. So I'm just going to call format phone number. Okay. So method name is format phone number. Okay. And what is the input for this? It's going to be a string, whatever phone number. I'm just using phone number. Okay. So I'm passing the phone number. And what we have to do? Every 3 digits I want to pass that. So where is that we logic implemented? So we have written that logic here. So this is we implemented like everywhere. Whenever you see the phone number, you are trying to format using the tmap, and you have doing substring a number of times. Instead of this, right, you can do it. You can do that in a routine, so that you can use simply. You can call that routine wherever you want to format the phone number. So that is what we are trying to accomplish in a sample. So I'm just going to call this. So here, instead of concatenating, so I'm going to use a string empty phone number equal to, and instead of row number, I can use the same column name, so that I don't need to change. Okay, I'm removing this row one and all. So I'm done with that functionality. Whenever you pass the numbers, so that it will split that number, and it will add a hyphen between. And I want to not a print, I want to return. So I want to, whenever I call this routine, I want to return this method. So you have to use a return keyword. So whenever you call this routine, so this is going to return the value, outcome of this value. So what is the formatted data you are going to get into your like the value. So return type you have to. So this is going to return the value as string, right? So I'm just adding the return statement. And what is the return we want? After doing the all these substrings and formatted the data, I want to return that format number. So now I'm going to call this. So I'm going to use a call me method, call me job. I'm going to here, right? I'm going to add a phone number. So I'll add a phone numbers here. Add phone number. So you can use the same column name, contact number, so that you no need to change the routine. So you can pass the string. So you can pass here number. Just passing same number. Yeah. So how to call that? So I want to formatted print. I want to formatted data. So I'm going to sync columns, and I'm going to generate code. Okay, I just want to call the method. I don't want addition now. I want a format phone number method I want to call. So what is the method? Format phone number, and it is already have contact number. Same thing we have used, right? So you no need to change anything. So now you can run this. It will format and it will print that formatted phone numbers. And we are concatenated +91 before the number. Scroll, so that it able to read from your input. And same logic, right? You can try to whatever you are practicing tmap, right? So call this routine. So you can call this routine so that it can able to get that value from input. So whatever db or file format you are using, string. Can implement the same, and I want I am giving exercise, just copy the code from google to email validation, and you can implement that email validation method in your class, and you can try to get that what is the it is a valid email or not. That information you can store in a table. So you can have that written code, whatever it is going to return, it is a email valid or email is invalid. That information I want you to store in the database. So somebody will give xyz at xy.com. So the xy.com domain will not be there, or at the rate n number of times in your code, then it cannot be able to treat it as an email. So that kind of routine, you can check in Google directly, email validation functionality, and you can prepare a routine. Yes, I'll remove this. We are not using. Okay, just having phone number. New column. Keep this. I'm removing all other codes, only phone numbers we are having. So we declared it as a string, and what is the error? See, we missed the double quotes for input data. We are using t flow input, right? You have to, based on data type, you have to give that double quotes. Earlier it is giving a different error. It is not saying data issue, like data you missed the double quotes and all. It is saying cannot pass a string and all. Now it is giving proper error. Sometimes it's going to be like that, so you have to check where you are missed the things. Undefined type sample, still what is the issue? Run first. So data is processing, then we'll call that method. So now it is printed data. So now I want to call the method for formation. Sample dot format phone number. Can pass this value to your method. So you have to end the semicolon. So you can create a one routine, and you can write a number of methods in it, so that you can call easily. if you are not able to identify what is the issue, you can go to the code. And define type. And the type, right? So now you can see, right? So format is done. Okay, we don't need logo. We're not, we are deactivated, or you can activate again if you want. So this same routine, right? So in anywhere you want to format the phone number, you can call that routine in tmap also. We'll see how to call that routine in tmap. So Java, I think you hope you guys able to how to format this, how to call. So now you can see, right? So outcome of this, so it is formatted the data as expected phone number. So now I have a job, right? Already I have implemented a job. I want to use this routine instead of calling a number of times or doing in within the Java code. Within this, I just going to call, just to call that routine. So here, how to call that routine? Again same, sample dot format phone number, and you can pass that contact number here, just call that contact number. So it is simple, right? So same way you have a number of outputs, you have to do for each and everything, some formats and all. You can write a routine and you can call that, simply you can call that routine. You don't see that kind of substring and all in your code. It's very clean. If you want to see what functionality implemented, you can go to your routine and you can see this is what implemented. You want to change anything, one place you change, automatically it will reflect in your every job. So if I want, instead of here, I want to use a dot, so they ask you to modify as to dot. So I'm just going to change in one place, so automatically it will reflect wherever I am calling this functionality. If you are implemented within the tmap or a process, then you have to open each and every tmap and you have to change that. But now you have made it as a routine, so you can simply go and change in one place, so it will reflect automatically wherever you call this format of phone number and all. So now automatically, so I'm going to save this change, and if you go and run this Java row, whatever you have done, it will automatically reflect and it will change to, instead of -2, will make it dot every three numbers. So it is going to be a simplify your management of code. One place you change, always write repository. If you create anything, it will be reusable and it is going to be one time change. It will be reflect to overall project, overall how many jobs you are using, that functionality can be modified automatically. You no need to again open your job or open your code and see it is applied or not. So now you can see, right, dot is applicable. So same thing, you can run this code, you can run this, it will automatically load that dot with the dot. Just I'm going to run. So routine calling is simple. So simple, that whatever routine name you have created, dot method name. So methods, you can write n number of methods, and you have to return the type, what type of value you want to return at the end. You can use that return type. So what we have learned, how to create a routine, how to call, and we understand T-Java row, T-Java flex. How to call a method in different components, how to create routine. So this is what you have to remember, and you can explain in interview. Okay. These 3 points, and why T-Java row, T-Java flex, and you can call routine any component. If you have input, now you can see, right, it is loaded. So if you go to which table, candidates, candidates. Now you see, right, dot is replaced. So now I go and change in a routine again back to hyphen. I have to save it. Again I'm going to run the job, which is called that format phone number method. Now you are seeing dot here. So after running this, we are expecting hyphen. Differences, people will ask you, what is the difference? T-Java row, T-Java flex, these 3 components, they'll ask a difference. So these 2 combination of functionality you can find in the T-Java flex. And T-Java is a independent component. You can call routines, or you can write your functionality, whatever methods you want to write, you can write. T-Java row, it will read input, and you want to pass the input to whatever Java code functionality you have written, you can pass it, or you want to do some kind of on top of each and every field, you want to do some massage, like doing kind of transformations, you can use the T-Java row. T-Java flex, again, it's a combination of both. Without input or with input, you can able to achieve. And T-Java row and T-Java flex has a edit schema. That means it can read the input schema, and you can pass. If you have edit schema, you can pass to the next component. T-Java doesn't have a edit schema option. Like this, you have to explain each and every whatever you are seeing in the component. These 3 are main. So this individual component, this need input, this need without input or without input, and this has a this doesn't have edit schema, this will have edit schema, this will have edit schema. And you can call routines, you can declare automatically variables and all, anything. So all 3 will allow you to do any Java coding, but in the difference is T-Java should input should be there, otherwise it will not do any transformation. So now it is done. You can go check here. So hyphen is replaced. So tmap, we just call that method. So in method, whatever your changes, automatically it will get reflected in your code. So if you change to hyphen, it is taken that as a hyphen. If you change to dot, it is taken as a dot. So that is the advantage or flexibility of routines. custom code. So substring you directly do in tmap. Whenever they ask to change something, then you have to open tmap, you have to modify all these things. Instead of that, you can do go in the routine. I'm giving just example. The not only phone number, you may do some kind of things, routine pattern checks and all. There also you can keep in a routine, so that it will be easy for you to fix any issue in a routine, so that you can just simply call that routine in any job everywhere. And it is a reusable, right? For example, Sai is working on one source, he also need to do the transformation of phone number like this. He can also use this routine because I have created this routine. And same way, he is going to check some email validation check, he will write a routine. So even my source, my table, I have to do the email validation check and all, I can use the Sai's routine. Like that, vice versa, each developer can shareable using the common codes. Or you have implemented in your team app the things, then I have to open your job and I have to see what logic you implemented, everything. It's a process, right? It's going to take a time. So routines are very flexible, and which is a custom things, you can make it a routine so that anybody can use in your team. And same for others also. If somebody has done a good routine so that it is reusable for your situation or a case, you can easily use it. Okay, and you can call, how to call it, just you have to call that class name dot method name. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Already we are running out of time. So we have covered how to create a routines, how to call a routines, and we covered the three components, which is the regular interview question, T-Java, T-Java row, T-Java flex. So they'll ask you differences. The major two differences you have to remember, and you can tell them. Okay. So I'm going to stop recording.